Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Òní mo máa sọ casting, which is a data type conversion. Sometimes we may need to perform conversions between data types, meaning a máa mú data type kan, a máa convert ẹ̀ sí type mi. The process of converting data from one type into another type is called casting. Ṣé rántí pé ní last lecture yẹn a ṣe type yìí, but I want us to focus on these three types for now. Then a máa padà wá ṣe àwọn type tó kù. Let's take for instance, I go to an ATM machine, okay? And I checked my account balance. I was having $60.40. And 4 cents. The type of this $60.04 is a float, simply because of the decimal. Let's check it. So I want to do Python casting.py. Can you see? It's giving me floats. Now let's check the value of that variable. Never do this. I get 60.4, which is the value. I may need to withdraw all the money I have in my account from this ATM, but the ATM only dispenses bills. I cannot get cents. The total withdrawal I'll be making in that case would be 60. Is that right? Because the ATM would only dispense cash to the nearest bill. This 60 is now a type of int. Let's check that too. Name of my variable is withdraw, and I want to check the type of withdraw. Can you see? It is int. And let's check the value of the variable. The value of the variable is 60. So the implication of that is I had $60.04 in my account and I'm getting 60, which means I had this float and I'm getting this integer. If I select to withdraw all the cash in my account, then I'll be getting 60. In that case, a conversion has taken place, which is casting this 60.4 or float into 60. A way that was done was this. So because I'm converting a float to an integer, I want an integer, then I do int, open a bracket and close it. Inside the bracket, I take the variable that is representing the float. So if I check the type of my withdraw and I print it, let's see what we get. Our type is still int. Now let's check the value of our withdraw. I'm going to clear this. So I want to print the value of the withdraw. Python. Can you see? The value is now 60. So I get the value from this line 8, which is 64. I converted it into an integer. It automatically removed the 4 and it gave me withdraw. It gives me 60. So changing an integer literal to an int would give you int casting. Changing an integer literal to a float would be this float casting. And constructing a string from different data types would be this string casting. Let's check how float and string is done. I want to delete this. So I have my number as 6. This is an integer. I may want to convert this to a float. Then I do float and open the bracket and then I put the variable 6. So I want to put this in a different variable. Okay, I'll say float number equals to this. If I print the type of float number, then I would get float. So it has automatically converted this 6 into a float. But let's see the value of that float number. You see the value is 6.0. So the computer automatically added a decimal because the set of rule guiding float is that it has to come in a decimal. The next one I wanted to show you is the string. If I have a number of 6 and I want to convert this to a string, I can do str and 6 or number. The number is holding a 6. So I can save this, say string equals to this. Or better still, I can say string number equals to this. So let's see the type of this string number. Okay, the value here is 6, but if we see the type, the type is a string. Okay, so basically what the compiler is doing is just doing this. Okay, it's just doing this. So let's print string number. Let's see. This also gives us 6, but this 6 is not an integer, it is a string. So this process of converting data from one type to another type is called casting. Okay, and if you're doing casting, you want to cast to an integer, you do integer, the type you want to cast. I might have, okay, so let's assume I have string. I have this string number as string 6. So I can convert this string number 6 into an integer. Then I want to print the number. If I do this, then I get 6. Let me see the type of this number. The type of this is an integer. So it makes sense that I can convert this 6 in a quote into an integer because it is an integer literal. But assuming I'm having this, do you think I can convert that? Let's see. That would be an error. It said invalid literal for int with base 10. So basically, so in this case, 789 would work because that is an integer literal. You see, then if I check the number, I get 789. So converting one type to another type is called casting. We'll be going further and discussing more about casting, assigning variables, and changing the types of a variable in the next video. In the next video, I would introduce something called debugging, and we see how conditions or how numbers are assigned to variable at every point in time. Thank you for watching this. I'll see you in the next video. Ó dàbọ̀.